The U.S. Supreme Court, in a deeply consequential ruling, has overturned the federal ban on bump stocks. This decision marks a significant shift in the landscape of gun control in the United States. The court's interpretation of existing gun laws has ignited intense debate and cast a long shadow on future legislative efforts to regulate firearms. The reverberations of this ruling are likely to be felt for years to come. The court's decision, reached by a 6-3 majority, centered on the interpretation of the statutory definition of a machine gun. This term, as defined by the National Firearms Act and subsequent legislation, carries significant legal weight. The court's narrow reading of this definition has effectively limited the government's ability to regulate bump stocks under existing law. The ruling has reignited the debate over the Second Amendment and its application in modern society. The court's decision to overturn the bump stock ban represents a pivotal moment in the ongoing struggle between gun rights advocates and those calling for stricter gun control measures. This ruling has the potential to reshape the legal landscape surrounding firearms and influence the direction of gun policy for years to come. The decision has also exposed the deep divisions within American society over the issue of gun control. Bump stocks, devices that allow semi-automatic rifles to fire at a rate approaching that of automatic weapons, have been thrust into the national spotlight following their use in the 2017 Las Vegas shooting. This tragic event, which claimed the lives of 58 people and injured hundreds more, ignited a fierce debate about gun control and the role of bump stocks in facilitating mass shootings. The shooter's use of bump stocks to inflict such devastating casualties shocked the nation and prompted calls for legislative action. In response to the public outcry, the Trump administration, through the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives, ATF, implemented a ban on bump stocks in 2018. This ban, which classified bump stocks as machine guns, effectively outlawed their possession and sale. The ban was met with mixed reactions, with gun rights advocates denouncing it as government overreach and gun control advocates praising it as a necessary step to prevent future tragedies. The legality of the bump stock ban was immediately challenged in court, with gun rights groups arguing that the ATF overstepped its authority in classifying bump stocks as machine guns. This legal battle eventually reached the Supreme Court, which agreed to hear the case and issue a definitive ruling on the matter. The court's decision to take up the case signaled the significance of the issue and its potential to reshape gun control laws nationwide. The Supreme Court, in its majority opinion, argued that the ATF's classification of bump stocks as machine guns was not supported by the plain language of the relevant statutes. The court emphasized the importance of adhering to the original meaning of statutory language, particularly when interpreting laws that implicate constitutionally protected rights. The court's decision hinged on the specific wording of the National Firearms Act and its definition of a machine gun. The court found that the definition of a machine gun requires a single function of the trigger to fire multiple rounds. Bump stocks, the court argued, do not alter the fundamental mechanism of a semi-automatic rifle, which still requires a separate trigger pull for each shot fired. The court acknowledged that bump stocks can increase a firearm's rate of fire, but it maintained that this alone does not transform a semi-automatic weapon into a fully automatic one. The court's decision was not without dissent. The three dissenting justices argued that the majority opinion adopted an overly narrow and technical reading of the law, ignoring the practical effect of bump stocks in facilitating rapid fire. The dissent emphasized the legislative intent behind the National Firearms Act, which was to regulate weapons capable of firing multiple rounds with a single trigger pull, regardless of the specific mechanism involved. The court's decision to overturn the bump stock ban has reignited the debate over the Second Amendment and the government's authority to regulate firearms. The ruling has also highlighted the challenges of interpreting and applying laws written decades ago to modern technological advancements. The decision leaves the door open for future legal challenges to gun regulations and underscores the need for legislative clarity in this highly contentious area of law. As we navigate through these turbulent times, it's clear that the nation stands deeply divided. The ideological rifts reach from coast to coast, influencing not just political debates, but the very fabric of daily life. Looking ahead, the future seems murky at best. With shifting alliances and evolving ideologies, Predicting the next steps in this complex landscape is anything but straightforward. The legal precedents set today will undoubtedly shape the challenges of tomorrow. As we scrutinize these decisions, it's crucial to consider not only their immediate impact but also their long-term implications. This decision, monumental as it is, has consequences that ripple far beyond the immediate reactions. It's a defining moment that will be etched in history, influencing generations to come.